would say we were good together. I would say we had fun.
Hi, it's Annabelle. Welcome to my apartment tour. This has been where I've been living for almost 2 years off campus here at RISD, and as usual I'm waiting until the last chance I have to document this place, but I spend a lot of time at home. It's also home to my 2 white fluffy kitties, Bambi and Prairie. This is a 1-bedroom apartment, and when you enter, the bedroom's on the left side. Right now my roommate is my friend Kira, and it used to be Lilith, my sister, and on the right side is the living room where I live. This is my bedroom technically, so my door is a curtain that I fashioned from a thrifted tablecloth. The way that the bedroom is divided, you can say the bed is in the middle. I used to have a really hard time sleeping, and it was so problematic to the point where in therapy I learned to unwind, and I also do not eat in my bed, or I don't do homework or anything in my bed because that creates association. There's a lot of things underneath holding it up. Those IKEA really cheap bed frames, I would never do this again. Then along the windows where it's the brightest, this is my office and my studio, you could say. I used to have a dining table over here, and Lilith took that after she did a table sale, and then she thought it was actually really good for her place. She wanted to do work on it. It really opened up this apartment afterwards, and then the entire back wall here is closet slash storage, because I have a lot of stuff. I was that person that brought so much stuff when I came here during freshman year, and I've been compiling a lot of things too now that it's been 4 years. But my rate is slowing down because I used to just buy a lot of things or thrift a lot of things and just always consume, and then I'm overwhelmed with a lot of things but only one room to store everything else and no storage. So it did help to have these shelves, so we got to customize this apartment so much, thankfully, because it's a very old place. Most of the apartments around the RISD area are very old, and the management is also kind of like aloof and lenient, so I was even able to paint the apartment, which I think really makes it for me. Color is such a big deal to me, and I even like voice recorded the landlord telling me yes, you can paint it, just in case they wouldn't give you my deposit back. So I got you. I was going back and forth between a seafoam kind of vintage minty color and a coral or like a pastel pink. And at the time, Tyler and I lived here together for the first year, so I wanted something that wasn't as girly, but also this I think is such a forgiving color because you can pair it with a lot of different accents. I wouldn't be surprised if I painted another room of mine this color or something very close. The kitchen looked just terrible because this is like a really old place again, and I had to push a lot of the appliances around and it looked just completely different. But I was thinking really long and hard about painting the walls black at first because it just seems so stark and it's a huge commitment, but I thought it would really transform the space, and it wasn't really a goal of mine to make things look big or small because a lot of people would say that dark walls make your space look small and things like that, but it's not really. I mean, the walls is actually not bigger or smaller, and I don't really care if something looks big or looks smaller as long as I can fit in it comfortably. And I think that the black walls, for me, it makes it cozy. It also makes the space look a little more nice because it blends in with the floor and it blends in with the appliances. Black is also another color that I would probably do in the future. All of these colors I picked, I'm so happy with. The foyer is like a nice mustard yellow, and that was weird to paint because apparently one thing I learned though is that yellow is a difficult wall color to apply, and there's a special primer. Normally you want to put like gray underneath, and it needed like 4 times the coats that any other wall color would need. Just something in the formula or something like that, I'm not sure. The kitchen was small, so I bought one of those sample size, like 1/4 gallon black paint buckets, and it ran out. When I got to the last wall, I was like, okay, what do I do? Because I either have to buy another one and have extra, or I decided to just use the yellow one and put it inside, and you can't see it anyways when you're facing the kitchen. So most of the time I've never ever actually noticed that the back wall is yellow, and I'm very pleased with that decision actually, that it's both matching yellow and then it gives it some dimensionality, I think, and it was a good mistake. So where I sit when I get ready in the mornings, this is all for makeup. as well as just a little bit over here. I just feel like this is so unattractive that it must go behind a cabinet. Pretty much I always have stuff on my table. I took the time to consolidate it over here in this pile, but like this is for my pen and ink class. So I just draw from home while I watch Netflix or listen to music. I normally have on like a queue of a bunch of vlogs I'm catching up on. So I have Bubs, Rhiannon, Apple Cheeks, La Madeline, Emilea, and also Shea Barton. I recomposed my room and how the storage would go about. And this bottom drawer is my skincare, and there's some meds just in case back here, but in general all my skincare that I use after the shower is in the cabinet in the bathroom. But I do have some, just a set here too, all the basics like soap, a mask, serum, lotion, because if Kira goes to bed before me, then I don't want to go over there and wash my face, so I just do it in the kitchen over the sink. So I also have something out here and I don't need to go into the bathroom and disturb her. All my makeup is just over here. I was like, so this pouch is lipsticks, and I have a separate pouch inside that's for lip glosses, so that I don't have to, like, I don't know, swim through everything. And then in this box is all glitter and shimmer makeup. And then in this pouch it would be facial powders, like anything powder form for the face, like setting powder. And then in this bag are all of my palettes, so there's like 5 in there. And then this one are my little loose essentials for like foundation, and I got these a long time ago, so my makeup setup has been changing like every year. The top one is always concealer, foundation, blush, bronzer, and then down here stuff I don't really use as often. And then like anything that's like lip liner or eyeliner would go here. That's accompanied by a jar of brushes. I like that they just hide in this nook really well. And one thing to mention is my Ratatouille DVD. Ratatouille will go everywhere I go. Got some textbooks back there. I'm pretty sure this box has a lot of the hymn books that I bring back from church. This is just very boring looking. The shelf is really deep, so I have some other things back there that I don't need almost like ever, so that's why this is just pushed to the outside. And this is what I use every day, so like these maybe once a week or something, often enough. And then this planner is so heavy, the doodle planner, and I always do this first thing in the day. Most of my planning I do is just more for the ritual of it, and I don't need it as a reminder, which is why I don't bring it outside of the house. Then I pretty much always have a candle here, and when I'm working it calms my nerves, it gives me a cozy atmosphere. So most of the time I just have this one burning, and this is a really old dollar store. It's pretty much dead because the candle burned and then like it melted. So I use it as a thing that to snuff my flame instead of blowing it, because with this you can blow the wax everywhere. I put these together because I thought that the black would match. Tyler got me this lamp for my 19th birthday. I can easily spray paint it someday, but for now that works, and it's like a really incandescent light for when I need to illustrate anything. Every pen I have here needs to be something I reach for almost daily, like either Muji or Bic. I'm all about ballpoint pens, but the Muji ones are nice too. I got a bunch of them from Kira for my birthday. I just hate it when the cord falls out and it takes me ages to get it back up. So some days what I've devised is putting the cord right in between the pens, and see, it kind of holds. And then on this side I have this for my printer. Whenever I make online orders and mail them out to you, I plug it right in, so I just leave it here. And my mirror, so old. It was gifted to me by the company. I don't think that they actually went through with this design because they're not a thing anymore, but they sent this prototype to me. I'm just gonna use it up until I move. Then probably a snack. In this case I've been loving the Biscoff cookie butter, so good. And then I don't like these, okay? I thought this would be a healthy snack. It's like a seed cluster thing, but it's way too salty. I hate it. And I thought that eating it with this would help, but that one just overpowers it. It's like I don't even taste that at all. More recently, I've been keeping my straightener right here, which is kind of lazy of me. Yeah, I usually either stuff this notebook back over here or I just like throw it over here. And this is the table where it's more of like an aesthetic area where I can display some of the postcards that people gift me. This is just like a nice compromise. I didn't want to spend too much time on it. I took what I had and I laid it out. I just wanted some movement, texture on the wall, as well as displaying some souvenirs and some gift postcards, and I have all my rulers here. I actually have been using them a lot, so this is normally closed, but I've been cleaning. Oh, I love this postcard. I got it in the Boston Museum of Art, so no, Boston ICA. And if you move and pan the gaze, it changes and it's a shining star. I think it's just the prettiest thing. And this box holds a lot of my textiles shenanigans. See, this I got through like a PR packaging, but I just like cannot throw things away sometimes, so it has become a little filing thing for me. This is where I would sew my stuff out. Tyler got me this really cute handmade pouch, but I don't really know how to carry it because it doesn't have straps and it's very soft. So tell me if you have something similar. What do you use this for? I think I turned this so that Prairie can gaze outside the window. This is stuff for Lilith I need to give her. And then in this corner down here, it's like an archive, kind of a temporary, it's a terrible way to store all of my work starting freshman year. Sketch pads would just lean against here. And in this corner, more materials that I might need someday, so I hold on to them here. And the kitty's litter box is right underneath this table, which explains why I don't work here a lot, because my legs have nowhere to go. And if you're wondering how I feel about having a litter box right in my room, it's kind of close to my bed. It's actually not stinky because the litter I use is very good. It's from Dr. Elsie's. This is my favorite litter. I really recommend it to you. And as long as they cover their poo, you don't smell it. And you have to be diligent about cleaning it, obviously. I have the sack of litter here, and then the litter genie. And I would just scooch it over whenever I'm cleaning it out. And I'll just like roll this out from underneath. And I have their scoops here, a little paper broom, and then this used to be inside my closet. And I took it out because this is like another miscellaneous area. Like, I didn't take advantage of this drawer as well as I could have, because it was just to get the clutter off my desk. When I brainstorm, it's not cute, okay? It's just like all kinds of this stuff. But then sometimes I have these golden moments and I need to look back at it someday, but I don't have a nice place to file it. So for now, everything, this is basically the drawer that holds stuff that would always be here. It's not my favorite thing to have this so close. It's like protruding and it kind of ruins this corner for me, but it's better than nothing. So I really love this dresser. It came with Tyler's old apartment and it's very vintage, super heavy. Clothes on the right side and things I don't use as often on the left side, because it's harder to pull these out when there's things here. So my clothes, like, it always pops up a little bit because it's such a shallow drawer. So I either just leave it open because I don't want to deal with it, or I like close it so that my grandma won't comment and be like, why is your drawers always open when I watch your vlogs? So these are just shallow ones. This is my tops. And then see, this happens, so yeah. And then the bottom is pants for this side. It's the very deep drawer. Everything here is like long-term storage. I don't really need it, like board games. And this tarp thing, this was what my mattress came wrapped in, but I use it as a tarp for my bicycle when it snows or when it rains. So it's pretty good. And then up here is travel related and also like long-term letter stationery storage. I keep every letter I receive. Also travel related. This one is a little tight because I have travel pouches all empty whenever I need to bring toiletries, you know, conversion things. Sadly, this phone case is obsolete now. I'm really allergic to bug bites, so I have a lot of natural bug creams as well. This side is hair products. I have some extra dyes. I think I'm going to give it to my mom because I'm not going to dye my hair for a while. And then this is just to look pretty, basically. This side is also hair related, but I use it more often. Like anything I would ever need, such as like curling iron, my headbands to keep back my bangs, clips do that as well. I use this a lot in the summer, as you see. You probably have seen this in the freshman dorms. It's like the same thing basically, so you already know that. A lot of these things you probably recognize, but this is new, but I thought it matched. I was gonna light these string things up, but to be honest, I don't think I did that once since I moved in, so I'm not gonna do that right now. Tyler got me this antique mirror at a flea market, I believe, and it's so beautiful. This entire place is more apothecary inspired, I guess, just because I'm trying to conform the style to the furniture piece. Just love this lamp. I brought it from home in California. It has that candlelight hue to it. However, as you know, my lamp has changing hues, but there's still something different, I think, about this industrial bulb. These are the same. I'm always gonna have these, I feel like, forever. And the hue bulb is connected. It's from Philips. It was Tyler's and he left it here. You have to connect it to your Wi-Fi router, and that's how I can control it from my phone. I keep my textile, like yarn stuff, a lot of the embroidery thread. This is bras, because I stopped wearing bras. So bras and bikinis. And if you look closely, I have so many boxes. The beam started giving out like a year into using it, and I realized it was giving my back a lot of pain. Also, I just hated getting on my bed or getting across my bed, because anytime I would lightly touch it, it would just like boom and crash down. And other than that, my bed is really comfortable. I have a Nectar mattress. I've never changed my sheets just because they go well with the walls and also matches. I thought it was the cutest find. This is a dog couch, but works just fine with the cats, and it goes well with my sheets, which is why I never changed them, to have a really nice seafoam theme going on. And then now back down here. So this is the corner where I get dressed and I admire my body in the mirror. And what is there to say about this? This is a nightstand with not very impressive stuff, because this is plastic. I just wanted the nice silhouette, the color, but I'm not responsible enough to nurture plants because I travel a lot here and it would die. This candle is pretty much done. For those nights where my legs are so itchy dry, got my sleep. This works actually, so it's like a spray. I think it's like essential oils. And yeah, Claire and I went to Disney a while back. And here's Oscar. We got this at the as-is section of IKEA, by the way. This is a really expensive piece, but we found it for $200 something in the as-is, which is why this cushion is really whack, okay? This is not the right pillow for it. So whoever returned it, they took the cushion and they gave back something that looks like this. And it also came with this, and I don't know why. So when we came to the apartment, we realized, this is extra. But I never wanted to throw it out. I just thought maybe someday I can turn it into a cushion when I have time. I just need to sew. Behind the mirror are a lot of my oil paintings, canvases. I just hide that all here. And then this irks people because I always leave it open. But I leave it open because you walk inside and there's a whole world to see. Just kidding. It's very shallow. And there's also no light, but Tyler was very thoughtful and he got me this little light thingy so I could nail it on the wall. But I have a bunch of foam core in case I ever needed it, so I can't nail it to the wall. So I just leave it right here. I have suitcases, extra bedding, skiing gear, Bambi's portable transport, and more skiing stuff, Christmas stuff. Nothing really exciting other than that my clothes are color coordinated and it gives me joy to sequence them like this. These are the sweaters that would be damaged if you hang them because they're a loose knit, dirty laundry. And then on this side would be, first of all, I love tote bags. I don't really have purses because I'm not elegant enough for purses right now. My lifestyle is quite, you know, like throw it on the ground, take a photo kind of thing. So I use inexpensive canvas bags. And then over here would be a lot of my vintage pieces, dresses I wear like once a year for my birthday or something. They're also really lengthy, which is why I put it on one side because there's a bunch of stuff under here, extra fabric. Textile major, you know, more fabric. Christmas tree, big bags that I don't really use. Tyler's jacket. My dad bought me this, I guess, survival kit. And no, it's not because right now. He bought me this 2.5 years ago. We're just always prepared. Alright, I keep what I really like to use up here. And then I have all these boots that I don't wear often because they're heeled. There was a time I was really inspired by a certain YouTuber, and she always wore giant heels, so I bought these. I haven't even worn them once because I realized it's not practical to wear shoes like this when you don't drive. Like, I cannot walk miles in this. So I'm determined, you know, one day when I'm an adult, I will surely wear this out. For the most part, it would either be Doc Martens, sneakers, and at most loafers that are heeled. This is my favorite part of the closet because it's like a changing collection of whatever I'm loving at the moment, and it also is so easy on the eyes. It pulls this whole wall together because this palette would change from time to time depending on the seasons or what I'm wearing and what I wear over and over again. So I have this coat always is out, even though I bike now, so I don't wear it as often. And also when I wash my sweaters, you don't want to throw these kinds of things into the dryer because it's going to ruin the inside. It's just going to strip all of the fibers out if you throw it in the machine. So it's wet. I hang them here and it evaporates. So that works too. This is something new I've been doing since Christmas. I asked for this sock thingy because when I use my socks, I hate losing socks. I have to wear matching socks. So my dirty ones will go here, and once you fill up the entire string, you can wash it. And then when they come out clean, I have this one here. Come here when I need them, and it's like picking fruit from a tree, kind of. My bathrobe, something I use every single day. Do you guys remember the blue nipple? And then on the other side would be my belts. I have a lot of belts. And if you ever go thrifting for belts and you're extra small and you like to wear high-waisted things, I recommend you go look in the boys section because their belts are really short. Because even if you poke holes yourself and the belt itself is really long and you have to wrap it around multiple times, or there's not one of those loops and it's just gonna stick out like this. This fireplace was blocked off, so I just put a couch in front of it. And then I think inside that is our window AC unit. Right here is a bunch of junk, always like this. These bags are clothes that I'm supposed to list on my site, but I like to do it periodically, so that's just there. And then this bag is birthday gifts for friends I cannot show you. And a yoga mat, because I used to do yoga every day, like stretch every morning, but I don't do that anymore. And then Prairie's tunnel. Hello Prairie, hello Herschel. Bambi's over here at the moment. They always rotate wherever they sleep, so it's really satisfying when they use whatever you buy for them, like this castle. They use it as well, but sometimes I put this castle by the top window over there, as you probably know, so they enjoy it much better when it's not low to the ground. This shelf here, Lilith didn't want it when she left. It's very utilitarian, and it's very hideous too, because these clothes I've already like ironed. I've took all the fur and lint off, and it's ready to mail out, and that's why it's like, I guess, inventory. It's held here. And then mail, anything I need immediately, I guess, when I leave the house or when I come back in and I just don't know where to put something yet, I put it here, such as the candles. These toys, they outgrew it, so I just have a bunch of baby cat toys that they don't want, and then like cat stuff, a lot of cat things. In here is like their meds and their creams or whatever. And then at the very top, it's supposed to be cute, but it's also just like a station. First thing I do when I come home, put my gloves here. Honestly, this wall, it was meant to be better, but never got around to it. And both plates I hung up here shattered. I was not aware that when it's humid and hot in the summer, the glue that was holding them up, it was like a strip, one of those Ziploc things, like they just came loose, fell down. So yeah, this entire wall is just blech. But Tyler left a bunch of stuff with me when he left, so that's just been here. And these towels normally go all over the couch because I'm afraid that they're gonna do something to mess it up. But for the sake of filming, I didn't want to look like that, so I just put it here for now until I'm done filming. This is what I sit on, and I find it really useful because I store all of the shipping things I get. I like to save the envelopes I receive in the mail, bubble wrap that I receive for packaging, so I don't ever buy anything. Down in this corner is a file for my receipts. I'm that person. And then more binders. And then this drawer somebody left this outside for free. They just wanted to throw it out, so it became mine. Bambi is like going to the bathroom. Sorry, excuse us. These drawers, mostly art stuff. Soap making is like my hobby that I don't have enough time to ever do, but soap making stuff. And these are all like packaging things that I save just in case I need them. And honestly, you'd be surprised. Like, I need them more often than I would think. Printmaking stuff, sequin stuff, knitting, same idea. These are all the pens that I don't need on a daily basis, like microns and all my gouache. I just have a nice library of certain art mediums, you know. This is from freshman year. The very top is like my mailing stationery center. I'm an adult now, so I write checks to pay my bills, all stationery kinds of stuff. This was my solution to the storage problem, which really helps. And honestly, there's way more room up there, so I could have used that better. Let's first admire my lovely toaster and horse painting. I wanted the shelf to recede at the bottom so that it would go with the mantle. And the pom-pom I added recently, which is so cute, I think. And then these bins are all storage. So one of them is purely yarn, and then this one is for my extra pants that just cannot fit in the wooden one over there. Higher up there is more art supplies like block printing stuff, old textbooks, oil painting things, freshman year charcoal supplies that I just never look at again. But I find that these ones are annoying to have to go to because I stand on the couch, I'm short, and when I pull them, they're really heavy, so they just completely fall on top of me, so it's not the best for me. Like, Tyler used to put his clothes there, and it worked out for him. And also under my bed, I found these really useful. It was in the sale section and it didn't come with lids, but I actually do not need lids, so it's perfect. It was clearance for $7. And that's where I keep my socks. I have more socks in the closet, as you saw, but these are even more socks. My gym clothes. Recently, I finally got my first thongs. Like, I never wore them, but when I work out, I would get the hugest wedgies, okay? So guess where I bought these? Whole Foods. This one is all PJs. I swear PJs is what I wear 50% of my life, and I'm the queen of clashing when it comes to PJs. Over here, out of reach, are all of my summer dresses. Anything that requires like 70 degrees and hotter to wear, I figured that putting it out of reach over there is perfect because I need to take everything out in order to reach it, and I only switch it out once a year. Bambi is also intently listening. Bag of garbage here and a bag of Prairie's packed things because Lilith needs to take care of her. This closet is just for storage. This is one of those storage closets where you're just like, you just don't think, you just try to close it. It has like a step ladder, picnic blanket, space heater. We're not allowed to use it here, but the folks before us left it here. And then some of my fabrics, more fabrics, household goods, that kind of stuff. Get the point, right? I've been really liking little purses when I go out, so I would grab that really quick if I'm just going to the movies or something. It's about golden hour now. It's really pretty outside. I have a lot of trees, so that's my room. And I'm just gonna quickly gloss over the kitchen. This is where we keep the umbrellas. Not that special. And oh yeah, I wanted to point out, this used to communicate with the intercom outside, and it doesn't work anymore. But Amanda, when she visited me last year, she was like, why don't you open the curtain with this thing? Which is such a creative thing. It's so cute. And as you see, I'm trying like really wonky rod that always falls off. My lanyard also goes over here. When I go to sleep at night, I just let it off like this. And lastly is the kitchen. So we changed out the lights. You can see all of this in the vlog, so I'm not gonna explain it too thoroughly. Bambi. All the shelving we installed, and it made it so much more efficient. I think I'm gonna take it with me when I leave, because before that it was just a hideous kitchen, and now it's livable in my opinion. Baking stuff. Got the laundry shelf. Underneath here is a drawer. This is where we keep the Tupperware as well as the paper towel, because we don't use this that often. And see, all of those paper towels we bought a while ago, but since I've been using my cotton ones, we go through them slower. Evidence of cats living here. And yeah, this is the funniest thing. So the dryer needs this vent, and I was very creative. I used twine to tie with these holes, and then we prop it up with a can of beans. My coffee corner. Thank you, Mom, for the toaster, the coffee machine. So lovely. Thank you, Gabby, for my soup bowls, for hot pot as well. Can you get down? This has been here since freshman year as well. Keep my mugs here, and this is the paper towels I've been talking about. I researched a lot about zero waste, but like for me especially, I'm not about trying to adopt that perfect zero waste lifestyle overnight, because it's just not possible in my current position. And I feel like you shouldn't expect that of yourself. Above the sink, we installed all of these rails because I'm extra and I just really wanted it to be, I don't know, it just like feels very lived in. So the downside is that when I move out officially, it's gonna be a really big operation, but it was really worth 2 years of comfort, I guess. These are the containers we get at school, but I'm gonna wash it this time instead of just returning it. Me and Kira, we have our little measuring cups. We like to bake, but we don't really do it often. And this corner is the clutter corner. I need to return this. Cat left this at my house. I always have this bag of aluminum to recycle, and I just like dump it out and I use the same bag over and over again, so it looks super beat up. This is just a drying rack at this point. We don't use these anymore, and I'm making curry tonight, so I've been defrosting my vegetables, and that's it to the kitchen. 2 cats over here. I like that everything has its own place. This is the spices that I used every night. I would keep there. Any cans of seltzer would go up there. Stuff we don't really use often up here. Rice. I have all the ingredients I need to make cat raw food at home, other than the chicken and the chicken heart. And I was really into making raw at one point, but I never got the time to do that. So in the future, I want my cats on a raw diet because it's healthier. Our cabinets don't have a lot of room, so we just stack everything up here. The dishwasher also acts as temporary storage while they're drying because we don't run it ever. This would normally be like full of their food, canned food. I weigh their things here, and down here is my noodle stash, and I also have the bulk ingredients to make granola bars. Anything I would spread on my toast. And curry ingredients. The top is like baked beans. I really like to have a lot of food just in case in the future, so I always stock up on things that don't perish quickly. Pasta. This container used to be full of Oreos, but I had it so much that I'm just kind of over Oreos for a while. This is that terrible seed thing I told you about. And I have plenty of carbs. I just have so much noodles and carbs. I can eat off of them for months. Down here are bags that I would use for grocery shopping, and now that a lot of places don't even give out plastic bags, I would just reuse these over and over again. And this is the garbage. Yeah, Kira and I are gonna have dinner one last time together, and that's it to my little apartment tour. Kira's room is in there, but I mean, you've already seen it throughout the vlogs, like especially when Lilith lived here, so it's not, I'm not gonna go into her space, especially when she's packing. So I'm gonna be really busy after this, and I hope that you enjoyed this. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you very soon. Have a great rest of your day and take care. Bye!